Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so what we're gonna be doing on this cut is we actually gonna be doing like a comb over mohawk type look with a taper. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my number 3 guard. I am using the gamma boosted. And as you can see, I have my 3 guard and I'm just debulking the sides. This is the length he wanted on the side to taper into. So with that being said, I'm taking that 3 all the way to that parietal ridge, creating that initial shape for the mohawk. And now I'm using my number 4 guard and I'm just fading with that number 3 left into the top, basically trying to get rid of that line. That way we have a nice, a nice even haircut. And then what I'm doing here is I'm doing the exact same thing that I did to the left side. Number 3 guard, like I said guys, that's the length he wanted on the side. We are creating that mohawk shape, and then we're gonna fade this 3 into the top. I did cut the top of his hair previously, but I did not record it. So with that being said, I did trim the top a little bit. So I'm just fading in this number 3 guard into the length that I left on top. And this is my number 4 guard fading into the top of the hair. So now I'm gonna go in with my protege. This is the Gamma Stylecraft Protege with that new X Pro Gold Titanium blade. If you're interested in this, you can go to their website. You can use my discount code TANK10 and copy this. This blade is super nice, guys. I really like this Gold Titanium X Pro blade. It's probably one of my favorite blades from Gamma and Stylecraft. But nonetheless, I set in my initial guideline for the taper, and now I'm lining up my client behind the ear. And you don't have to do this now, but the reason why I do it now, guys, is I already have the trimmer in my hand, so I feel that it makes it easy, not necessarily easier, but it's quicker for me to do it this way. And now I'm going in with the shaver, getting that down to skin. And now we're gonna actually start tapering this haircut in. So I'm going in with my gamma boosted, lever all the way open, setting in my next guideline. I said that kind of weird, but I'm setting in my next guideline, and I'm gonna make sure I'm being nice and consistent with it, and I'm gonna fade this section down. So as you saw me do right there, I did close my lever halfway, and I'm coming halfway into this section, and then I'm gonna close my lever notch by notch and work my way down until this line is completely blended out. And it should get the line out completely, but if it doesn't, I'll go back in with my trimmers if needed. So the next step is me taking my 1 guard, lever open, and doing the same exact thing. So I'm setting in my next guideline. Remember guys, I am following the shape that I created with my trimmer. So we're doing that rainbow type shape, setting in my next guideline, and then I'm gonna close my lever and try to get rid of that bottom line. And once again, if it doesn't get rid of that bottom line in that previous section, then what I'm gonna do is go in with my 0 guard or my 1/16 guard and clean that up. And as you can see, that's what I'm doing here. When it comes to tapering, guys, you want to make sure to try to use your corners a lot. So even though it looks like I'm using my whole blade, a lot of times my clipper is tilted. That way I'm just using a little bit of my blade. That way I don't mess anything up and just take off too much hair that I really don't want to take off. So what I'm doing right here is, I believe this is my number 3 guard. And I'm just cleaning everything up. I believe it might not be, but I think that was my number 3 guard. And this is my number 2 guard. And I'm doing the same thing, just fading down, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get this top line to get blended. And as you can see, I am doing some lever play there. And you want to make sure you're brushing that hair down. And with this client's hair, his hair tends to want to like move around a lot. So you got to make sure that you brush that hair down. That way it lays the way it's supposed to lay. And this is my 1.5 guard. Once again, guys, lever open, starting off to attack this top of this line, these dark areas. And then I'm working my way down by closing my lever notch by notch. And I'm going back down to my number 1 guard and cleaning everything up. So if y'all been paying attention, you know what I like to do is I like to fade up to like a 1.5, maybe a 2, and then I use my bigger guards and fade down. And I guess you can call that sandwiching the blend, meaning I'm gonna fade up, but I'm also gonna do some down fading, and that's how I keep my blends where I want them at. A lot of times, if you do one way too much, like if you fade up, you might take the fade too high, and if you fade down, you might not bring it high enough. So that's why I like to do a mixture of both, and really sandwich that blend. All right, so moving on to my client's lineup. Y'all know how your boy does it. I like to start off in the middle of my client's hairline, create that initial guideline, and work my way over to the side that I was just cutting. And now we're gonna hit that vertical bar. Trying not to push this back. I know a lot of people are always like commenting and talking about pushbacks, and sometimes barbers be pushing people back. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do to make that line straight. I'm not saying push the hairline back, but every edge up is technically a pushback. No one has a straight line. So you're gonna have to push it back a little bit to make sure that hair is nice and sharp and defined. Now we're hitting that C cup. And then we're gonna fade this beard in. And I ain't trying to clown on my client or nothing, but y'all see he doesn't have like a really full beard. He's got kind of like a struggle beard, so I'm gonna hit it with some enhancements later on in the haircut just to really make it pop. And y'all gonna see that it really takes this haircut and the beard to the next level. But what I'm doing here now is just detailing, guys. And remember, when you detail, you can use any guard, any clip that you need, do some corner blending, you know what I'm saying? Just really attack these dark areas. And I like to do this after I line up my client because I've rested my eyes from the fade, didn't look at the fade too much, you know what I'm saying? And then I get back to looking at the fade and I can see things that I didn't quite see before. So moving on to the back of the haircut, I did not record me cutting the right side, but I did the same exact thing that I did to the left side. And now what we're doing is we're going into the back area of this Mohawk taper, and we're setting in that V the way he likes it, where he wants it at, setting in our initial guidelines to taper this up, set that in with the trimmer, and then I'm following that with my shaver. And once again, guys, going in with my clipper lever open, and I'm gonna repeat the same exact steps. I'm going in with my lever open, and then I'm gonna adjust my lever notch by notch and work my way down. So by the time my lever is all the way closed, I should be attacking that bottom line. And now I'm going in with my number 1 guard lever open, setting in another section, and then I'm gonna close my lever. So by the time my lever is closed, I'm working at the bottom of that section. And then this is my number 1 guard, or I'm sorry, my 1.5 guard. So I am doing things a little differently on the back, but for the most part, it's the same exact thing, guys. And there's my number 2 guard, just blending everything in together. And the reason why I did it this way is his hair was really blending easily in the back. His hair is easier to blend in the back than it is on the sides. So I felt it was just easier for me to go that route with this haircut. And now we're just going back and detailing it. I believe this is my 0 guard. And now I'm really just touching up that line, making sure it's super, super sharp. And as you can see, that taper is looking really good on this side of the Mohawk, and we're gonna have to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. So sometimes when we do, you know, these Mohawk tapers, you wanna make sure that the blend looks real similar to, you know, on each side, because if not, it's gonna look off. It just ain't, it ain't gonna look right. So you wanna try to remember exactly what you did, or what you can do is actually do the same thing to both sides simultaneously. I couldn't say that word properly. Meaning, you know, create your line with the clipper open on the left side of the Mohawk, and do it on the right side, then with the 1 guard on the left side on the right side. But you know, I don't do it that way, but I understand why some people would have to do it that way, just to make sure that the blend is even on both sides. Alright, so now I'm going in with my no drip from Tune 45. As you can see, I have my Tune 45 Sean Cuts Hair Enhancement card, and all I'm doing here is I'm adding these enhancements to these lines, making it really look sharp. And as y'all can see on that beard, I'm barely spraying it just to where it gives it a nice sharp look. I'm not oversaturating my client with any paint or any dye. I'm just putting a little bit on to where everything looks still natural, but just really makes them lines pop. And now we're moving on to the razor work, and all we're doing is going over everything we did with the trimmers, making sure these lines look super, super sharp. And remember, guys, you want to make sure to stretch your client's skin, that way it lessens the chance of you nicking your client. But as y'all can see, this haircut's coming together super, super nice. The blend is there, the beard is there, you know what I'm saying, them lines are there. Excuse my bald head. But yeah, as y'all can see, this haircut came together really good. Once again, guys, if you're interested in those gamma tools that y'all saw me using earlier in this video, you can go to their website and use my discount code TANK10, save yourself a little bit of money. And now we're hitting up the top edge up on my client, making sure that line is nice and sharp. And I did overspray him too much with the enhancements here, so I put some alcohol on a tissue or on a neck strip, and I just cleaned that up a little bit. And I'm going back in and just touching up these areas, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to do that, guys. But nonetheless, here is the before look, guys, and this is the after. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you want to make an appointment, you can go to my website, tankbechopping.com. You can book there. If you want it to be for YouTube, make sure to put that in the comment section. But that's basically it for this video, guys. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.